If you've been watching these teachings, you'll notice that there is a thread which runs through it all. And it's time now to talk about the experience of living inside the invisible world and at the same time having a connection to the material. I get hungry. I need to sleep. I need to move. I need to talk with my family. I need to feed the dogs. So it's not as if I'm disconnected from life. My residence is the invisible world. I speak to you from it, and I'm connected to the material world. When I'm no longer connected to the material world, I will pass. My life is over. I'm simply spirit. Speaking to you now, I am embodied. I am aware of living here in my home. So there's a facility here, there's a skill here, which I learned over time. I learned it by being with Don Manuel, my last teacher. I learned it by being with my grandmother Gussie, my first teacher. They were both resident in the invisible world. They both communed with the higher resonances of the invisible world. And they lived in a family, both. We learn this by watching others who do it. It's not something that can be written about. It's only something that's lived. And as you learn how to live this, life becomes livable in a different way. It's possible to live within the timelessness of the invisible world, to enjoy its peaceful qualities, its serenity, its absence of malice. In fact, its absence of violence of any kind. The invisible world is actually seductive. You have to be careful not to allow it to be a source of self-indulgence. It's an arena for me to be of service. Within the invisible world, I am able to be helpful, at least sometimes. That's what motivated me. It's within the invisible world that I offer healings. I offer healings to individuals and to the land. I don't suggest you enter the invisible world just as an experience, because it will seduce you. You will become stoned on it. You'll be one of those odd California space cases. This isn't about cultivating myself. It's about getting outside of myself and into a realm where I can be useful. All of what I'm saying about the invisible world and about still retaining connection to the material life is not something that I can say is readily understandable in Western terms. And yet we have historically cultures in the New World which still exist, which live this way. There are people in the New World who live this way. It's what Europeans encountered when they came here, couldn't understand, and dismissed. The doctrine of discovery, which allegedly justifies the stealing of the land of the New World, mistook what was here, both materially and spiritually. What's always been here is an active engagement with the invisible world. Cultures grounded within the invisibility, and yet are materially effective. My teacher, Don Manuel, had a large herd of llamas. It was his wealth and his joy. And he tended them every day. And yet he lived within the invisibility. I recognize that what I'm offering here is enigmatic. This is not understandable to a Western mind. It's easily missed. Certainly, Europeans who came here totally missed it. For the most part, we still miss it. And yet, there are some cultures that have survived, and you can witness it as a social reality. I did in in villages in the Andes. It's quite startling. Here in the States, there's a huge piece of land in the Southwest which belonged to the Navajo. Within the Tine, within the Navajo, there's life within the invisible world. It's a tract of land that's bigger than some European countries. I don't want to belabor this. It's just to say that what I've been suggesting in these talks, while it's unknown in the West, is quite available and present here in the New World. Thank you.